Oh, okay, Cali. I thought he was talking about what's her name. Who was up here? Chicago was a scam. Mr.
Think
Payne.
of me. I came at
Scam.
the ground, y'all.
Scam was popping.
It was good.
It's good.
I'm taking the day off from trolling. What I was gonna say is, I think in these conversations, I'm not taking any shot at anybody on the panel because these are also conversations that happen in real life when it comes to generation. Um, I took a class about 2019, and it actually broke down all the values of the different generations and what was going on through those times. So it helped me to
Mm,
understand why people
mm,
think the way that they do.
mm, mm,
I talked. My parents still alive. Aunts and uncles still alive. They was born, raised in 60s. And during that time, a lot of it was survival mode. A lot of them were beat half to death. Don't look left, don't look right. Do as I say. And that's how their subconscious mind was trained. So that's their default way of thinking. And this is not all, but if their default way of thinking it was that, and they were fighting for safety. There's pros and cons in every generation. I'm not going to beat up on the generations. And they did fight for safety. And today looks the way it does. We actually got some choice where the people of today have more choices than they did before. A lot of them do want a form of appreciation for some of what they actually did, and they want a level of respect. Though they should be more understanding of people actually wanting to ask the very questions that they weren't able to ask. As Gen X came along, things got a little bit looser. They can start asking a couple questions why. Now might get smacked first, but then later you can ask the question why. But then millennials can ask the questions why. Where time started to speed up, where everything wasn't safety based, so everything wasn't safety and survival mode based, but just more opportunities or whatever. Now you got the other generation, but if people understood how the world was actually operating during these times, and how these people grew up and what they saw, and actually understood what their shoes were, the expectation would be for them to act like what they were actually taught to do and what's in their subconscious mind. Um,
Scam.
yeah.
In terms of the responsibility, where does it lie, right? Because as you see, I would deem that positive progress where you know at least why you got in trouble for what you did wrong. So when we're having these conversations, who's more responsible in like when they don't, you know what I mean? The lack of listening to understand.
Um, the problem is the further you go up, you're gonna find it. You want to keep going all the way to 1800s and find who's responsible. You're gonna find a slave. Go
Yeah,
ask the slave. Hey man, how come you ain't teach me nothing? What in the hell opportunity they had to teach you something? They
yeah,
were fighting for their life for real. They was bleeding to death.
yeah,
And it's like, you know what? I tell you what, walk in my shoes for 7 days and then ask me that question. You know what? No, I'm good.
yeah.
So, but I do find a lot of older generation, the worst thing I hear is we need to go back like back in the day. So if the relationship dynamic is jacked up, that's like telling somebody in a hospital, uh, ate too many butter biscuits and drank too much alcohol. Hey man, when you get out of here, we need to go back to the casino and back to the bar. That's what got you here. Why would you go back?
Okay. So with that being said, if you had to, in terms of responsibility, trying to understand what's actually happening, would it land on the younger generations then?
Not at all. The younger generation, let's be real. Little Kim was out in 1995.
Mm-hmm.
Blaming Sexy Red for everything with the younger. Come on, man. Pimps and hoes and Ron O'Neal, that was the 70s. Heroin sticking in their arm, that was the 70s. This ain't new. It was out, and I talked to my parents and Grant and all of them. This stuff ain't new. And they was participating. It just ain't on Instagram. They ain't got no videos of it.
Freak
They
night.
didn't invent Hot Girl Summers in 2023. Come on. A lot of the stuff was going on and now it's been brought to light. But all the shame and blaming, just like, what is it? My dad just was telling me this a couple weeks ago when I was at home. The girl get pregnant, you send her down south, and you start lying about who the baby is, who the father is. They just making up anything because they can't walk out. Their image is so more important than the actual child's life. Some of
Mm.
those children are the people in the chat. That's somebody's uncle, and they grew up in it. And some people go and you're asking a young generation, hey man, you just go out and get married, go grab a wife. Like, what is that? What's that look like? It doesn't make any sense. The relationship dynamic, Adam and Eve couldn't even get along. Let's be real. It's been bad since the beginning of time. This country, other countries. I had these conversations in English and Spanish. A lot of it is the same thing, same talking points. Well, the real ones, not
Okay, so yeah, no, just having a conversation. So you saying that it's inevitable that it'll be in turmoil?
um some will, some won't.
Come on, scam. Come on.
Majority, no, it's going to be a problem.
Okay.
It always was. There used to be medieval times with people chopping heads off. It's
Hmm.
not
Yeah.
hate, evil. All of it's been around. It just might be. Some might have a computer behind it. Some of it might be a sword.
Hmm.
But also water, food, advancement. All that's been around. So there's a positive. There's things that do work, and it's going to fall all the way back to the natural order of things. Value system. How to live, how to love, how to communicate with other people, how to listen, understand, how to get better, practice, and improve. That's been all the way since the beginning of time, and it's the same thing now. It just looks different.
No, 100%. Yeah, I like the analogy or the parallel with the computer and the sword. Because
But new generation, they just got here. I see a lot of talking at them versus to them, but also to them. You're in the information age. There's all kind of information. Yes, there's a whole bunch of dust out here. All that information, grifters, scam masters, but you're talking to generations who would bleed to be in your shoes, where they could even get information, even ask a question.
yeah,
They couldn't even do that. Y'all can ask as many questions as you want to and look up information on your own. Have more money and more. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. It's a matter of just picking the best and doing the best, or just beat each other all the way up, blame it on somebody, and it just doesn't work.
do you think if we remedied the talking at, that would be very helpful? So, as an example, right?
Yeah,
Um,
example too, but go ahead.
um, my bad. What'd you say?
No, let's say example.
Oh,
You
yeah.
tell
So I
somebody.
was gonna give
Go ahead.
a example that actually makes sense.
Go ahead.
Football, right? So
Mhm.
I'm coaching the All Star game, so it's kids from all different schools, right? But instantly, I'm not telling them I'm such and such. They knew I was a coach at the school I came from, but they don't know all my accolades, right? Um, but I instantly start teaching, and they're like, "Damn, coach, how you know so much?" And then I told them the backstory after they were already understood that I had the knowledge. Oftentimes we hear, "Man, we had it way harder than y'all X, Y, Z," and we like, "Nigga, there's no way you walk up the hill to and from school." You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like, do you lead with the right information, and then people want to learn more about you after that? You know what I mean? Like almost doing it backwards.
Leadership, the top level is influence, and people follow who they know, like, and trust. That's not going to change.
Yeah.
So, if you look just like my dad and he beat me half to death, I don't care if you got a suit on. I ain't listening to you. And if you say 6 words that sound just like him, if that was my scenario, not listening. So if you don't ask the right questions or had that conversation, then the connection's never made. I don't care about your accolades.
Yeah.
Let's be real. There are car salesmen that make a lot of money and drive nice cars, and they'll sell you anything. They're grift masters. Talking about, yeah, my wife. They got their wife reading the script. Yeah, I eat traditional. I cook clean. She beat him up yesterday.
Yeah.
But
Right.
there's profit. I mean, at the end of the day, I think even Be Nice was saying it. He don't know who to trust in so many words.
Hmm.
There was
Yeah.
some extra, which I kind of missed a part of it. But if a person doesn't know who to trust and don't know who to listen to, the accolades or some that might not be it. And hey, he might not listen to a person. They can say no. But without that know, like, and trust, you can't expect somebody to just go and start following stuff.
Yeah.
And also, ask the person who they are first. Ask them what they want. Know more about them before guide them and saying, go do this. Just like your
Man,
coach,
god damn
you know
it,
who's the
Scam.
cornerback, you know who's the offensive lineman, or you might have to go and find out. You'll just throw pads on them and say, go get them. Nah.
Yeah. You do preliminary things.
Yo, Hamp. Scam just said it, bro. Ask them first before you tell them what to do, bro. A lot of dudes in this space, because I can't say old nigga, a lot of older gentlemen in this space, they don't do that. Only a few of y'all do that. A
But
few.
Granville, can you offer them some grace?
No, no, I can't.
based on. No, I'm just saying. Remember how they might have grown up.
No, no. Okay, and if I take it back to my personal life right now, normally when an old head call me on the phone, he may be telling me some information about something, but I'll give him the grace of listening to him for the next 30 minutes, knowing that I already know what he's talking about, or it's a bunch of bullshit what he's saying. But I'll give him that grace to hear him out,
because of the
and I won't cut
relationship.
him out.
Because
No,
of the
no, no, no,
relationship.
no. I've given this grace to people in this space just to hear him out. And at the end, I'll tell them, hey, well, I know about these situations. I know about this. I know about that. Could you maybe expound more on this part?
Okay.
I'm not giving that to all y'all though. Fuck, like I'm just not.
Okay.
If I reach out, I'll reach out to you on the back because I can't have this serious conversation with you on the panel
Okay.
because it's gonna go somewhere. So I'll reach out to you in the back. There have been men in this space that I've reached out to had the conversation with. They've given me information that I know already, but they were able to answer questions that I needed answered
Yeah.
as well. But that
Yeah.
happened on the back end.
Just
Yeah.
one last thing. Thank you, all the older generation. Thank you for all that you did do. And there's grace extended for what you didn't do. I get it. Not all y'all, because some of y'all, oh my God. But y'all who did, and those who are trying to do and are doing, thank you. Those who are younger, keep searching for answers. Just keep trying. Keep working and try to work with us and understand it. Understand us, them, because the rest of this is not going to work. Then I got to troll you. I'm just saying.
Okay. So
Hard work.
AP brought Mr. Payne back after he kicked him off. All right. JP was popping.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on, everyone? Shout out to y'all.
Goody.
Uh,
I
when I
got you, Mr. Payne. Go ahead.
when I'm listening to this, I was told when I was young, you got to always prepare for the future. And when you look at the youth, there is the future. I think the problem with these conversations is that if the older men is willing is admitting to that they have let the younger people down, then it shouldn't be them talking. It should be the young people talking. This is where what I always say, you got to value family. A lot of these older people, not all, but a lot of older people value their wallet than their family and their communities. And so these are the consequences when you try to demand and command respect from the younger people that you feel like you should just automatically get because you just an older black man and he's a young black man. No, you didn't reach out to those young black men. You don't know nothing about them, those young black men. You don't have their hearts. You haven't done nothing to deserve respect from those young black men. Those young black men don't even know you. A lot of these older black men comes off as a deadbeat father. Come in, try to chastise somebody after 20, 30, 40 years later. That's what I'm really hearing. So when I think about the youth, um, I think that we should do more listening to them. Because if we are the cause of their failures, it shouldn't be us. It shouldn't be the old people disrespect us first. No, that's not what you hearing. That's not what I heard. What I heard that they disappointed in you. Yeah, what I heard was a lot of hurt from them. What I heard that you want to come in, it's almost like talking to your granddaddy or your daddy that let you down, and now his first words is say, "Boy, you need to do what I say do. You are disrespectful." At that point, the walls is up. You don't have no you don't deserve that respect. You didn't put in no weight. A lot of these older people, myself, a lot of these older people feel like they entitled. If you really want to change the trajectory of the future, you have to respect the youth. You already failed it once. Now those young people give you the opportunity to get to know them. So instead of trying to push off and preaching, and another thing with the youth, they not trying to listen to more preaching. This is why the churches are so empty now. They want to see more action. They've been getting people been getting talked to forever. Talking is nothing. It's cheap. And for a lot of these older people, that's the only thing they did was talk. Nothing been put in place. So I think the onus is on the older people, on the older generation, and if you really want to connect and bridge that gap, the older people, you got to shut the fuck up. Excuse my French, because you didn't deserve no right to come out and give demands. You did not. Or if you did, respect. I thought respect was earned. You was too busy trying to earn respect from the white society instead of your community. Like you come into your black community demanding, commanding respect from these young people because they had to share the same skin color as you. But before that process, you chose the other side. So it's a lot of stuff you have to do to earn that respect.
Yeah, man. That sound like it makes sense to me. The JP will be back in 20 minutes, but um, so he said had this on deck for JP Bounty. He bound to say some dumb shit, bro. Sit back and think about your life decisions. And then AP said he want to hear Rilla opinion on it, uninterrupted.
AP on what exactly?
Well, what you think about what JP was saying though?
I was trying to think like who he would be talking about, like specific. I would have rather him put a name on it, right? That way I can understand, because I know like OG in his space, and he's shown on camera real time what he does, right? So I know he's respected in his immediate community. Maybe on YouTube these conversations get convoluted, and yeah, we don't have the camaraderie or that level of rapport with these shorties. But that's online. In real life, I know for me, when I move through my community, my neighborhood, I'm a stakeholder. I know what it's like in real life. And even as an old head moving on these streets, you can't be out here talking to these shorties willy-nilly and pumping your chest up
That's
and all of
a
that other
fact.
stuff. You know what I'm saying? You gotta move like you know something, or your head top gonna get blown off. So I
So
don't
brother,
know.
let me give you a tangible example. I joined one of TJ's panel one time. There was a pastor up there. He was talking about like free will or something. The pastor was cool. We had a discourse, you know what
Nah,
I'm saying?
the surgical hemp. I saw that.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, the snapper. Yeah.
but when we had that discourse, he tried to young boy me. You know what I'm saying? Even me, and I was coming straight from the bank. In the conversation, he tried it a couple times, like with me. And my presentation not even like that. Like where you know what I mean? Like, but he tried it. You know what I mean? Like that happens.
Yeah,
Like
but hemp. Do you
Can,
know what's
can a
the
good
amazing
pastor
thing you
really
did? Do you remember how well you handled yourself, comported yourself, walked them down? That's why I said that was surgical.
yeah.
What you did, the way you responded to him, it was still with a level of respect where
Oh
had
yeah.
he just could hit the point, he would have left with his dignity intact.
Hmm.
But that ego, that pride comes before the fall.
Yeah.
That ego, a mofo, dog.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
can the good pastors ever get any credit? Ever?
Well, this was
You had to see. Did you see it? You had to
No,
see that.
no.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a
I
good conversation.